Nick, you mentioned that he always wanted to have the fastest motorcycle and things like that.
Here's one, and it was just to show you where Ray's mind was. He wanted the biggest, the fastest, and whatever. And Bobby walks across the studio one day. We're doing interviews, and Ray's just sitting about 10 feet away, and he's just sitting there, just half asleep, waiting to do an interview. And Bobby just walks over. He says, "Just go along with me." And I go, "Yeah." And all Bobby says was, he says, "Well, Nick," and he raised his voice so he knew Ray could hear it, but Ray wasn't paying any attention to us. And Bobby says, "It had 450 horsepower." And Bobby knew what reaction he was going to get. Ray jumped up and says, "I want one." And it didn't make any difference whether it was a motorcycle, a boat, snowmobile. You name it. He had to have the biggest and the fastest. And he had a snowmobile one time when we had these cabins up in northern Minnesota, north of Minneapolis. And he says, "We go up to the factory," and he went with this other friend of his. They came back with when they ran about 110 miles an hour back then. I mean, they all run about 110 miles an hour today. Back then, that was a pretty big deal. He said, "Do you want one?" I said, "No, Ray, I'll just, I don't need one." Yeah.
When Ray first got up to Minneapolis, he wanted to get a snowmobile. So he went out and he was looking at it. He said he got the biggest and fastest one he could get. And he not only got one, but he got one for his wife, too.
Oh, yeah.
He got two of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no question. But I mean, he just, and we had more fun because up in Minnesota we had the snowmobiles, we had this little resort that with all these cabins on a lake, and then we had these, and he had a boat, and I had a boat, and then one day I'm out in the middle of the lake, and I got out there first. The boat's just anchored, and just my wife and I are just sunning. And Ray brought back a boat from California. It was a jet boat. This thing would run about 80 miles an hour with a big jet blowing it up. And I hear this thing coming across the lake, and I'm in an area where you're not supposed to go fast. Didn't mean anything to Ray. And he's coming at about 90 miles an hour straight towards me. And with these jet boats, you can turn them around on a dime, and the spray goes back about 130, 40, 50 feet. And so he's coming towards me, and I see him coming, and I stand up and I look, and I don't think he's going to make it. Well, he turns the thing, he practically from the jet, God bless it, it worked out just fine, but he almost made my boat turn over. The jet was so strong, he came so close. And when he came back, he's laughing like hell, and I'm looking at him, and I says, "Raymond," and this was a beautiful metal flake boat, all gold trim and everything. I says, "Raymond, if you had hit me," I said, "I'd taken a ball-peen hammer and punched a hole all over that goddamn boat of yours." "Oh, well, no, it's okay, Nick, But I mean, he just loved to take chances. It didn't make any difference what it was.
He had a charmed life.
And one other thing? You've never heard anybody say anything bad about Ray Stevens.
No.
You never heard a guy say, "He was a jerk, he screwed me here, he couldn't get over, he did this," nothing. No one said anything.
No.
They loved the guy.
Yeah, just any place he went, he endeared people to him. And I think much of it was the fact that he was he was a big kid, and he had a big heart, and because he was, in a sense, childish in a certain way, but in a man's body, that everybody loved him for it.